What's crackling, everybody? Welcome back once again to the definitive cereal tier list, where each episode we take a cereal, put it on the tier list, so you know how good it is. I'm your host, Tucker. In this episode, we're doing Eggo Chocolate Waffle Cereal. Previously, we've done two other Eggo waffle cereals, those being, of course, Home Style and Blueberry. Both of those did get a D, but I did like Home Style more than Blueberry because I think we've kind of found with this list I prefer maple flavor to the blueberry flavor in cereal. So both got a D. I don't think the Home Style was as good as something like the French Toast Crunch at a C. So that's why it's a little lower than that. And then Blueberry. Again, Blueberry doesn't always do it for me in cereal. So we'll see how this goes with chocolate. A much better flavor overall, I think. Well, maybe not. More varied at least, so it has potential to get high up. And I don't remember having a huge issue with the actual piece itself here, so I don't expect that to be an issue here either. But let's just get into it. Feels like a really light box compared to the last couple. Okay. The tried and true description here of smells like hot cocoa mix. So I can really hope that's a decent chocolate scent. Alright, so pretty much the same piece as the other Eggo cereals. I feel like this one's not as solid overall. Like I feel like the shape was a little more waffly with how I remember the other ones, but might not be the case. But either way, it seems like one side pretty clear. You got like the waffle divots. The other side, not so much. But you know, they're going for it. So I'll give it to them. Okay. Interesting. Okay. That first bite of the chocolate, I was more into than at the end. It was reminding me of another chocolate cereal, but then it kind of changed, partially because of the texture, I think, and also just the flavor slightly changed to be not sharper, but just a little more distinct. So I sort of lost the comparison I was going for. I'm not sure what that change was, but hopefully we can find out. So looking at the box to try to get an idea for what's going on there, it has cocoa processed with alkali as well as semi-sweet chocolate. So maybe it's just a combination. I don't think we've seen semi-sweet show up in the ingredients a lot. So it might just be that on its own that's doing it. But it is starting to become more of its own sort of chocolate taste, which I'm still down for. I don't think it's quite as strong as that very first initial taste I had, but I'm still overall enjoying it, and the piece is fine. It's not quite the right type of country that I'm super into, but I think it's serving its purpose well enough. All right, the milk has turned pretty chocolatey, and there's a lot of cocoa powder just kind of resting in there. So let's see what it tastes like. Okay. That does kind of taste like, this is a very specific reference. When I was in elementary school, for crossing guards, they gave you like free hot chocolate in the morning, and this milk kind of tastes like a cold version of that hot chocolate. So I don't know what it was, some type of just cheap hot chocolate powder. Sort of makes me think of that. But I think it's more cohesive, I guess would be the word, in the milk form than on the pieces themselves. Yeah, I feel like on the piece, I sort of had that initial chocolate, follow-up chocolate flavor, but in the milk, it's all just sort of one. And I like that better. I think the milk chocolate flavor is actually pretty solid. Kind of wish the whole piece had been like that. I don't think I would fight super hard to make people Lego of this Eggo. So with this cereal, I think there was just a couple bright moments, but nothing too grand about it. Like I mentioned, I think the milk flavor with the chocolate in there is pretty good. If the whole cereal had had that same chocolate flavor, I think I would have been a little higher on it than I am. But alas, it was just in the milk. And then initially, this is also sort of relating to that same thing. I think that first initial part of the initial bite of the cereal had a good chocolate flavor as well. I don't think it's quite the same as what the milk is having, but I think those two moments were the best moments of the chocolate and the chocolate cereal. All the others were fine. Like sometimes, get up to okay, but again, nothing too great. So what I'm gonna do is give Eggo Chocolate Waffle Cereal a D. I think it's not too much better than either of the other Eggos. Like, I might even prefer the home style to this. It has been a little while, but that might just be more fitting, I think, with the idea of Eggo, so maybe that's the only reason I want to put it higher. But even just comparing the two, I think they both have a better version of the flavor in the C rank, so it's hard to put it in that same rank. For home style, again, it was like French Toast Crunch. For this one, I look at something like the Hershey's Kisses, which is also kind of like a weird cereal, just in the way of it's not like one of the traditional brandings for it. But I think that chocolate and piece overall worked better than this did. Like again, I think this had a couple good peaks, but overall didn't really do it for me. And piece-wise, like I said, the crunch isn't exactly what I wanted, and it doesn't get too soggified, but it just doesn't start at the perfect place and then kind of falters to a fine place. So it just kind of tries to get up to a C, but doesn't quite make it. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe, and in the comments below, post your general thoughts. Let me know if you've had Eggo Chocolate Waffle Cereal and what you thought about it. This one I heard about coming out early on in 2021. Did not see it until November of last year, and it wasn't even at home when I saw it. So if you also have not seen this, you could let me know. But if you have managed to see it and pick it up, and you did really like it, and you think it's easily better than the other Eggo cereals, you can let me know. Or if, like me, you just kind of thought it was an okay chocolate thing, but maybe do a different Eggo flavor in the future, you can let me know. And to go along with that, if you have a specific Eggo flavor in mind that you think they should try as a cereal and it would work well, you can let me know. For me, I think I would pick the cinnamon one. That's the 4 little pieces that make up one waffle. I think besides just having a classic Eggo waffle, actually this might be above a classic Eggo waffle as well. I think those little cinnamon ones are very good, so I'd be down to try that in cereal form. But until next time, stay delicious.